What is up, you guys? It's your girl Madison, back at it with... Excuse me, I had a weird hiccup thing. But we are back at it with some more Colonel Sanders dating sim. Yes, we just got a personal invite over to his house. So we are excited to see what is going on. And yeah, basically, though, just a quick rundown. If you haven't seen any of the previous videos, basically, KFC came out with a dating sim. Yeah, that KFC. And pretty much you are trying to win the heart of the Colonel Sanders. And you have some rivals here. One's named Ashley, and she is a massive capital B. And she's like stupid dummy thick though. And yeah, we just got invited over to his house and we're gonna go see what's going on. I already have it loaded up because it takes like a hot minute. It doesn't like load exactly into where you left off, so you have to like get back to it. But yeah, here we go. Also, we're still a fake gamer grill because we're still using our regular headphones. A personal invite. You can't imagine what Colonel Sanders' home must be like, but it sounds like you're about to find out. I don't have the thing pulled up. Stepping in, ooh, sleep. He had a... Stepping inside Sanders' home, surrounded by his things, you start to feel a special bond with him. He's not looking super cute in there. It looks like you live such an exciting life, Colonel Sanders. Every day can be an adventure if you approach it with the right attitude. Long ago, I made the decision to never stop searching, never stop working, never stop imagining. Have you been working on any new recipes of your own lately? I'm always excited to talk about food with another ambitious chef. Well, there is something. It's just a side dish that I've been tinkering with. However, trying to find the right balance of flavors and textures, I'm just not sure I've nailed it yet, but I'm close. Colonel Sanders' eyes perk up as he starts to wonder what dish you might be describing. It's meant to pair with something spicy or something crispy. Both, perhaps. Now you've got him right where you want him. Should you reveal your new creation to him or keep it a secret? He told us one of the ingredients, so I feel like we should share. You decide that you're as ready as you'll ever be to share your original cooking with Colonel Sanders. Before you can talk yourself out of it, you decide to dive in head first. You reach into your lunch bag for a special dish that you've been keeping on ice all day. I present to you my original coleslaw. The shredded cabbage dish glistens in the light of Colonel Sanders' luxe hideaway. Magnificent. Together you chow down on the creamy slaw until just a spoonful remains in the bowl. Do you mind if I hold on to the last bite? I'd like to have it around so that I can admire its taste later and think back on this moment. You could offer to make him more, but he seems like a very sentimental kind of guy. Sure, why not? He's tearing up again. Me? Please make yourself comfortable. I'll be back in just a moment. You realize that now would be the perfect time to do some snooping. No! Around the room are various items that you can look closer at. Each item seems to radiate memories and emotions. Tap on an item to discover more about the Colonel. The chicken. You notice it's a stuffed chicken. I thought it was like a statue. You notice a very realistic stuffed chicken sitting on a corner table. When you pick it up, you realize that it isn't just realistic, it's real. Taxidermy must have been important to Colonel Sanders when it was alive. A little note clipped to the chicken's foot read, "The true state bird of the great state of Kentucky." This must be where he keeps the secret recipe. You think for a moment, what number is important to Colonel Sanders? Then it dawns on you. As soon as you turn the dial to 111111, the safe opens. Inside it you find a single note. Can chicken be prepared sashimi style? You take a closer look at a large urn sitting on a nearby pedestal. There's a plaque on it. It's dusty, but when you wipe it off, you can read the inscription. It says, "Here lie the ashes of all my past careers and business failures." Wow. Tap on an item to discover more about the Colonel. The door opened. We're gonna finish everything. You gaze out the window across the vast lake and mountain range beyond. Just then, the ghost of the student pops up. Are you thinking about heading out into the world on a quest to avenge my death? Wait, what? I never even learned your name. Why would I avenge you? I could just tell you my name right now. Can't you see I'm in the middle of something? You open the window a crack and the ghost is swept out with a breeze. Let's do the candle. If it's like chicken flavored. A scented candle. You pick it up and try to identify the smell. Power tool? Freshly starched collar? Piece of wood floating in a lake. Summer of 69. No, it's one of the secret recipe ingredients. It's blank. When I've got 3 recipes, or 3 ingredients. Tap on an item. It's a comb. A lac of silver hair is woven through the teeth of the comb. Upon further inspection, you realize that the hair therein isn't just silvery in color, it's actually made of spun silver. Okay. The photo appears to be Colonel Sanders, except he's an old man visiting the pyramids of Egypt. Maybe this is where he discovered one of his secret herbs and spices. Why is he old? One of the framed photos shows an old man who looks a bit like Colonel Sanders standing with a friend. They hold fried chicken drumsticks and appear to be cheersing them? You look closely and see that there's a short inscription. I wonder who my friend Pete is. Here's the last one. An adorable little baby boy crawls across the floor. From the goatee and mustache combo he sports, you figure that this must be Colonel Sanders himself. He is holding a chicken wing. Or maybe it's the drumstick that he seems to be waving like a rattle. Who frames a baby picture? Just themselves. Probably the same type of person who would make their own face the logo of the company they founded. Am I right? Tap on an item to discover more about the Colonel. You open the door to Colonel Sanders' closet and find a row of his signature white suits hanging within. You take one off its hanger and try it on. The jacket is a bit big for you, but it's soft and comfortable. You give yourself a deep hug, breathing in his scent. They say that home is where the heart is. Is this what they meant? Before you can look any further, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. He has a new dish that he has been working on, and he wants you to taste it. You try to act casual until he asks you why you're wearing his jacket. I don't usually loan those out, but I must say, it does look good on you. The music is honestly making me like, ooh, we're setting the mood. Oh crap, the jacket, you forgot to take it off. You confess, I think I've developed feelings for you. He liked that, okay. I might be developing feelings for, I don't want my water now, feelings for you too, but I'm concerned. I can't let anything get in the way of my dreams. Overwhelmed, you take off the jacket and run for the door. What is this? Dramatic ass. Okay, but the thought of leaving Colonel in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself. Colonel? Yes, Madison? I honestly think this may be the beginning of something wonderful. I think you're right. We should take things slow. You talk late into the night and drift off into a slumber. Dream sequence! Okay. You awake to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. We're on day 3, guys. Day 3! Give it up for day 3. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. Today is a day that could change the rest of your life. You think about the new secret ingredient you just learned about, blank. In some jurisdictions, blank isn't even legal, but if the recipe is a secret, how will they know? Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a gorgeously plated breakfast, and your mouth waters at the sight of it. Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up. It's meticulous. You taste Colonel Sanders' food and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question. So would you say that we're the perfect match? How presumptuous. My cuisine and your taste buds, that is. You know, I think we might make a great team. A single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eye as he gazes out the window. And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Business partner? Could he be talking to you? It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears. Unable to speak, the only answer you could find is to run out the door and get home. Oops. There's still one more day of school after all. The University of Cooking School Academy for Learning waits for no one. You get home to find something very surprising. Your best friend is there waiting for you. Where have you been? Because I had one heck of a night. I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something had happened. It's okay, but now that it turns out you're fine, I can finally get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam. Sure, but you will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date. I think I can believe that. Since I'd been partnered up with Clank, he asked me to go out with him. I like her power stance here. Of course I told him, you'd better keep your dials turned to polite and respectful. I'm not that kind of girl. But he was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me. So I said, yeah, sure, I can get to know the little metallic guy. Long story short, he took me skydiving with his friends, but things quickly spiraled out of control. How was that man's going skydiving? Did she just say skydiving as if that's a typical first date to go on with a talking pressure cooker? And now I'm not really sure where we stand. You don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story, however, bottling up the details of your own night is just too much to bear. And I went on a date too, back to Colonel Sanders' house where I spent the night with him. You what? Nothing happened but the emotional connection. Wowzers. Together with your bestie, you feel like you can do anything. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. Where are we at? When you arrive at school, you can tell from a distance that they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not quite grasp that fact. Because, you know, he's Pop. What's a swirly? It sounds delicious. Oh, it's great. I'll order you up one right away. I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Sprinkles is a dog and a treat. You can get your swirly dip, too. Why don't you pick on someone your own size? Because I'm literally the biggest person at this school. There's that horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school, but who would dare pick on such a giant, gentle, and beautiful creature? Why is she, look at how thick she is, and I still can't get over her freaking stockings having chickens on them. I hate his hair still. You got some nerve, Madison, suggesting I pick on a defenseless horse. Now you're twisting my words, and I won't have it. You clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's mixer accident makes you wince in pain. It doesn't look like you can go on cooking like that. Might as well just give up. I'll never give up. Ever. Colonel Sanders arrives just as it appears things are close to boiling over. A naturally intuitive person, he senses that something has been going on. Is everyone excited for the final day of school? Madison, how's that hand feeling? I'm sure you'll be back in fighting form by this afternoon. Aren't you concerned about my hands, Colonel? Yesterday I almost broke a nail winning so hard. Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive. What is he doing complimenting her? But what about the flavor of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate sauce? It was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received. That's a lot of words to say it was bland. Excuse me, Madison, I am more than capable enough to speak for myself. Why are we doing this to ourselves? Maybe you could tell me more of your thoughts as we walk into class, Colonel. I'm always interested in discussing the fine art of fine foods. See you inside, Madison. Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley for who you know she really is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by that interaction with Ashley, you take out the spell book you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages. Whoa, that's that book. It looks like bad news. It's just something I found lying around. It would appear to be some sort of grimoire. But I don't really believe in that magic stuff. A grimoire, like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it weren't really powerful? I can think of one surefire way to find out. You open to a page covered with arcane warnings, cast only in case of extreme emergency. It says around the edges of the pages. I could use the spell here that it says will erase anyone I choose from all of my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it would probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam. That is way drastic. Couldn't you do something else? Like anything else? Not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger? Or like act like a normal, sane individual that you've only known this man for 2 days? Okay, fine, it is drastic, but desperate times call for desperate measures. You got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you and a pretty good excuse to try it out. That is not a good excuse. No, 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 that's stupid. I want to know what the outcome would have been though. We might play again. You take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. Sprinkles is already in the room, waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement. I want you all to know, I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you it's nothing to be afraid of. I don't think I'm gonna give him my homework as a snack. Sprinkle stops in his tracks. He focuses in on the window. The room is deadly silent. When you follow his gaze, you see a tiny orange squirrel perched on the cherry tree outside. Sprinkles turns feral and runs to the window of the classroom. He begins barking uncontrollably at the squirrel outside. Terrence! I told you to never come back here, Terrence! I will destroy you, Terrence! Sprinkles is barking ferociously, drool flying off of his face. The squirrel looks over, but he doesn't say anything back. You wonder, is that even a talking squirrel? Who named him Terrence? You'd better not show your chubby cheeks around here ever again. After Sprinkles is satisfied that his presence has been felt by not only Terrence, but any other squirrel in hearing distance, he returns to his professional tone. I apologize for the outburst. This actually brings up an important point. Thank you, Madison, for reminding me to dole out this indispensable bit of wisdom, you see. But before he can go any further, Miriam's love drama spills over into the class. I told you to save it for after class. You think I wanted to be thrown from a plane strapped to a stranger? Miriam and Clank appear to be arguing, but you still haven't learned to speak Clank's language of mechanical noises. But no, you had to show off your cool kid friends Jeff and Joan, J and J forever. Watch us form a triangle in midair as we descend. Triangles are the strongest shape, don't you know? Yeah, well that doesn't make it a great date. Beep, work. Then take Jeff and Joan with you. You can all hold hands as you pedal down the mountain or off a cliff for all I care. Sad beep. Clank begins to shudder. Steam pours out of the gaps in his panels, and then a loud ding stops him in his tracks. Beep, bzz. No amount of seasoning is going to make me want to eat that, Clank. Clank burps out a completely deep-fried sneaker. Considering that he himself has wheels, not feet, it's not entirely clear where it came from. In terms of deep-fried footwear, I guess it looks okay. Clank slowly rolls out of the room to be alone with his shoe. Everyone tries to pretend like they didn't see that entire thing go down. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate, but we mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition showdown challenge exam. I'm still working on the title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches. See you all in the arena. But before you can think about your upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby in need of a pep talk. Hey Miriam, are you okay? Okay, I'm so mad I could smash a tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor. How could he embarrass me in class like that, in front of everyone? Her tiny cocoa is a delicious treasure, so you know that this breakup is no joke, even if the source of her frustration is such a silly boy. I know that you know this, but I'm gonna say it out loud. You don't need anyone. Me and you, we're gonna cruise through this final test and hit the carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way. You're not going to saddle up on Colonel Sanders' stallion and ride off into the sunset without me. Of course not. Well, maybe, sorta, but I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it and a ranch big enough for both of us, and whoever else we want to bring along. It's not Pop or Clank or anyone else you meet today, tomorrow, or this whole year, so what? You're a special person who shouldn't settle for the first someone to show a little interest anyhow. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheeks. I should really review my menu for today. I'm gonna make a very special soup. And I bet that Professor Dog is gonna love it up. While you were pep talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch, but that's okay because you had a better idea of how to spend the time before your exam. Alright, boys and girlies. I think we're almost to the end, so I think I'm going to finish it out right here, right now. So yeah, stay tuned for the last episode of I Love You, Colonel Sanders, or whatever the freaking name is. I Choose You is what I want to keep saying, and I think that's wrong, but I don't really know. So yeah, wow. Thank you all so much for watching, and I love you all so much. I hope you all have a beautiful day or night, and don't forget to like and subscribe so your girl can drop out of college. Bye guys.